Hello everyone, I'm back with another video, and in today's video we have a PlayStation 5 console here. This is a PS5 Slim. The model is a CFI-2000. That information can be found on the bottom of the console. It will tell you right somewhere over there. It says PlayStation 5 model CFI-2000. This is a slim version. It's a little bit lighter than the normal one. And in this video I'm going to take you on a step-by-step how you can tear it down, remove everything, and get to the motherboard. You can clean up the fan system, the heatsink, and even if you want to replace the liquid metal on it. It's really easy. You can do this at home and save a whole bunch of money and do it at your own time and the way you like it. Pretty much some technicians I've seen that they don't work very well. They just don't put all the screws and stuff like that. So in this video, I'm going to cover up how to do it by yourself. All right. I'm going to go over the tools that I'll be using. Tool number one is a good screwdriver set. I would recommend you to use the i50 screwdriver set as they have one of the best bits out there. These are S2 class steel. They're really toughened steel and they're really recommended for electronics. I purchased myself the basic tool set. If you want to get opening tool, use a guitar pick. A metal guitar pick is suitable for opening tools. A curved or straight tweezers. And after that, you need a workshop towel. One sheet of the workshop towel is good to have. Don't use microfiber towels. The reason is because if you put an alcohol on the board to clean up some stuff that is on the board or you want to repaste, the alcohol will blend the towel, and if you want to clean the board, the towel will rip and before damaging any component on the motherboard. So use the workshop towel. Toothbrush, use our new toothbrush to brush up the heatsink. And pretty much with all this, let's get it started. If I'm missing anything, I will let you guys know. All right. First thing first, we need to remove the side panels. There's no screws visible here, not on the bottom, not on the top, on the back. So we need to remove the screws. We're going to start where we have the DVD drive in here. So we're going to put this face upward. The front of the console is right over here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab it from the front here. So pretty much what I'm doing, put your thumb here and just lift it up. Just like that. And once you lift it up, pull it towards the front and leave it. Lift it. Because if you try to do from the back, you have higher chance of damaging this clip. From the front is really tougher. So always grab it from the front upward and then lift it up. There's one top panel. For the DVD drive, same thing. Grab it from the corner, pull it up, and you hear that pop sound. And there we go. Comes up, move it forward, and you can release this clip at the back. Now, down here we got the DVD drive. To remove the DVD drive, all you want to do, you want to lift up this back side upward a little bit, and then pull it towards yourself so you can release this hook on the front that goes in there. So there's your DVD drive. If you want to remove just the DVD drive, there it is. All right. In this one, it's been already opened. In here, there should be a warranty label on this screw right there. So you want to hook through this one or lift up this screw, this tape right here. Right. We got the fan, and the fan connector goes right under this plastic. Lift up this plastic, has a little adhesive. Put it to one side. Remove these cables from this hook right there, bring it up, and pull it upward straight. Now there we have the fan connected, disconnected. To remove the fan, we're going to remove 1, 2, 3, 4. If you pay attention, beside each screw, on the plastic, there's a 1 dot, 1 dot. This one has a double dot right there, and there's a reason for it. Let's say we're going to use the Torx number 99. We are going to remove the one with the 1 hole beside it. The reason for this hole indicates that the threads for this one are meant for the metal. These are metal threads. So this one, it should be a metal threads too. So we're going to remove this one. Again, you see it's a metal thread. So you know this single holes, whatever they put markings are for metal threads. Double are for the plastic. So if we remove the double one, is a little longer. And you can see the threads are a little apart from each other because it's made for plastic, unlike the metal ones. Right? So we're gonna remove the other one. This one is a short one, and it doesn't have any marking. So we're gonna leave that one in. You can mark wherever you remove it from the fan screws and stuff like that. Then you can lift up the fan, bring it up, and this is the turbine fan. You can take it outside, use a brush, and clean it up. So let's put that to one side. We are gonna remove this cover for the NVMe storage. If you want to expand storage in here, you can remove this one. It's a Phillips number 1. So I remove this screw right in here. I believe this is the only Phillips screw that you can remove in this console. So lift it up, bring it out, put it right by the cover, and there we have it. If you put NVMe in there, they give you a nice screw for it. Alright, so let's go back to Torx number 9. And we're going to start from the corner here, and we are going to remove. If there is no marking on this one, like 1 or 2 or anything like that, it should be a short plastic one. So let's remove it. I'm going to use a magnet to pull them out. So this one doesn't have any marking, so let's remove it. That should be the same size as this one. This one has a double, so it should be a longer one. So it's a longer plastic. Yep. So double is longer for plastic. This one is a double mark right there. There. So again, another double right in the corner. We are going to remove all the screws that we see in here. And this one is a doesn't mark it, so that means it's going to be short. Yep, short one. This is a marked double hole. So a long one, a single. That means this is a metal screw. So if I remove this one, it should be a metal one. Alright, so let's put that one inside. My hands is full. We got one more short plastic right in the corner. We're gonna remove that one. Just double check, make sure we haven't missed any. All removed. Alright. We are gonna flip it over and we're gonna remove this other side. Same thing, front end is in here. Lift it up. It's gonna pop like that. Put it to one side. Lift it up. Pop it, put it to one side. We are gonna remove one screw, two screws. These are for the power supply. So metal one, and it's not marked, so you can grab your Sharpie, and for the metal one it's single, that way you know. This one, it's again two metals, so again we put a single, then pull them. Alright, now we remove those. Let me see if I'm missing any screw right here. No, we don't miss anything in there. Alright, so now what we're going to do, we're going to remove this top portion, lift it up, bring it up straight, plastic cover, put it to one side, take it outside, clean it or wash it if yours is really dirty. So we can see one heat pipe for a component, it's power regulators right in here. So it's going to cool down those ones with this heat sink turbine, so it's going to blow air through there. And before we do anything, we're going to remove this cover right in here. Again, this one is being marked, so you see we don't put any screw in here, nothing in here. So you don't want to put the screws in here. What I did in here, you can take a Sharpie and mark the screw, and on the board you can mark it too, so you know that there should be a screw there, and you shouldn't put any screw right there, right there, right there. So you don't put the screws where you don't supposed to, especially in these two right there. Well, these ones are covered by the screw by the fan and the other screw. So mark the screws that you're going to remove here. There's a whole bunch of them, about 30, 40 of them. I have no idea. I never counted them. So we're going to start from one corner and we're going to remove all the screws. These are short metal to metal threads. So go ahead and remove all of them. Also, if you guys like my videos, if you find my videos helpful and helping you guys out, you can support the channel by clicking that like and subscribe. I'll greatly appreciate it. It helps and motivates me to make more videos, take requests, and answer your questions in the comment area. So let's go ahead and remove these ones. What I was going to say, we're going to remove this bracket first. So you could start, doesn't matter wherever you start, but I'd like to remove this bracket. You can see this one is a long one, so you could do a double. So if you have a good memory, you will know. So the rest should be a small metal. You see, this one doesn't have anything in there because the screw goes from the bottom column. Alright, now we're gonna lift up this bracket, put it right where we remove the screws, so we know these ones go with those. Now we're gonna continue removing the rest of the screws down here. I'm gonna fast forward this part because it's just removing all the screws that you marked. Alright, now that we removed all the screws in here, honestly, it's like really unnecessary to have so many screws in here. We're gonna unplug the Wi-Fi connectors here. Just pull this jack upward from the right close to the base. Like that. They just push snap on, so you wanna push them upward, don't yank them sideways. Untangle this one. I really don't like to put this tape in here. It can get clogged to the fan, it can stop the fan, so don't put the tape. And untangle the cables, bring it to one corner. Now we're gonna lift up this metal cover here on the top. Oh, I forgot one screw that I missed right in the corner here. Make sure you remove all the screws. Right? No, don't lift up from the heat sink. Just grab it from here and bring it upward. And we're gonna see the one what's underneath. There is this two onboard storage that they have, and this is I am guessing that the BIOS or no. There should be a BIOS chip somewhere else, but this might be a BIOS chip. Firmware, VRAMs, and the GPU is on the other side. Power regulators are cooled down by this heat pipe right in here that goes right over here. These are not thermal pads, these are a thermal putty. If you want to replace the thermal putty, get a thermal putty. I will leave the link in the video description. You can swipe them with a better one. Just put a tiny blob and it just squish and it will just make the contact. But these are really good. You don't need to replace them. They're really nice. They still, for when you move them, it still feel like a little putty fresh. But if yours is really dried and it's cracked, then you might want to just order a thermal putty or thermal gel and place them on this one. Alright, so this is the top cover for heatsink for the components on this side. Now to get to the other side, we need to remove this board that goes to the power on switch and the USB controller right in here. To disconnect this one, you don't want to yank this thing backward, otherwise you're going to damage it. You want to push this metal cover that is in there, you want to push it towards the motherboard. While you're pushing it towards the motherboard, and then you want to pull this cable back. Let me see. There we go. There. And the reason that you have to push this metal bar down, it's because if you don't push this down, if you pay attention to this flex cable right in here, the flex cable has a little earlobe on the side in here, on each side. And if you try to push them, you're going to damage the earlobes and it's going to get clogged inside the connector and you might not be able to power on or use the front USBs. Always push down the lever, I will call it, and then slide down the flex cable or push it out. And put the flex cable to one side. Now down here we need to remove two screws. One right there is marked with an arrow, and there's another one right on the corner here. So remove the two screws that are being marked. Alright. Now you can lift up this completely. What I'm doing right now, I'm pushing it in the power unit with my hand. So I'm pushing it from this side up too. So, and a little bit of wiggling and it will release the, so you see this pinhole, the plastic has to come up straight. and it will release itself. The power unit stood there, but if the power unit comes with it, it's okay too. So because these two pins go right in the 12 volts, go to the power unit right there. So this one comes up, and there's the heat sink, and two nicely 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dedicated heat pipes. Okay. Then let's put this to one side. I have no more space here. And the power unit is the same. You push it from the bottom, it will come out. So if you give a 110 volt in here, and if you check here, it's at 12 volt. This is a 12 volt, 31 amp. That's a lot of power for 12 volt. That's a beefy power unit. Alright, so when you want to put it back together, you can just grab it and put it right. Make sure this 2 pin goes right to the power unit. Like that. So it stays in this position. Alright, let's go ahead and disconnect it. Yeah. So there's your power unit. You can just take it outside and clean up with an air. Don't open it up. And this is the bottom housing with the front panel right in there. You can take it outside with a toothbrush, clean it, blow some air through here. And let's put this to one side. And down here we have the unit. To remove and disconnect, we need to remove the bracket on the CPU. Same screw bit. That is really tough, but remove halfway through and then start removing this one. Don't remove it completely. And then remove this one completely. Then you can continue removing it. Alright, once you remove that one, you can lift this bracket straight upward, not sideways. There we go. So this is we call a protection for the capacitors and pressure plate. Alright, so now we are almost done here. Remember, this one has a liquid metal, so when you lift it up, be careful. So I'm going to lift it up like this. I'm going to put the board down. I'm going to hold it from this corner. I'm going to push on the motherboard and push on this one. Slowly, gently lift it up and slowly flip it over, because you don't want to drip this liquid metal that is in here over the motherboard. Otherwise, you're going to have a hard time cleaning it with an alcohol and toothbrush. So there we go. You can grab a little spatula and recollect, and you can see there's enough liquid metal in here, so you can recollect this liquid metal and bring it to the center. The liquid metal, it doesn't go bad, so you can still use it. So you see, wherever that there is no liquid metal, just push it over, and it will spread over whenever you put it back together. So you can see this one is all collected to one side. Let me change the angle, maybe you can see it better. So if you can pay attention, the liquid metal is went all the way to one side. So you can grab it from there and bring it to the center. Like that. That's fine. As long as you can take your time in spreading it, that's the way you want it. But you don't need to replace the liquid metal unless there is no more left and it's really dried out. You can just add more liquid metal on top. And then we have, again, they use a thermal putty on the power regulators right in there. So if you want to remove it, clean it up with a spatula, put a new thermal putty on it, and that's it. You can take it outside and clean up with a toothbrush nicely. Once you're done with it, you can put it back down. So to put it back together, let's go ahead and put it back together. I'll put this one down first, then I will flip this one over. Slowly, I will put it right on top. Just like that. Once I have it on top, make sure that you put it on a flat surface because this pen has to go through the power supply. Once you're on top, hold it down with your hand on this side so it's lifted. Put the bracket for the capacitor protection. Grab the X clamp, or it's not even X clamp, but it's a clamp. Manually by your hand, just do a few threads. Make sure you just hold to it. Don't put it all the way in, and do this side too. Now you want to continue to do a little bit of that side, not all the way, and come back to this side. You want to evenly move them down. That way the liquid metal evenly will spread over this crystal die. So that's very important. Usually people, they screw completely one side and they just force each one down, then the liquid metal will be pushed to one side. You want to go evenly down, so you have the even pressure on the heatsink. All right, now that one is done. What you want to do, you want to grab this part. If you have to replace the thermal putties, replace them. If not, put this one over. And we can, oh, before we put this one over, I forgot. You need to put the 2 screws for the motherboard. Remember that they have a 2 arrow. Put one right there. You don't have to go crazy tightening them up by force. Just reach and do a little bit of push, and that's it. And bring this one over. Put it down. Nice and easy. Now you can even right here start putting the screws. So I'm going to fast forward this part by putting, I'm not going to count how many screws are there. There are a whole bunch of them. Honestly, you don't need all of them, but if you don't put them, you don't put them. But if you put them, the plate evenly sets over. So go ahead and put it. Alright, now we put all the screws that we have on the bottom cover. We're gonna grab the casing. We are gonna grab this bottom casing. We're gonna put on, if you want to remove it, you can remove the front panel right here, lift it up, and it will come out. So just untangle this one. And if you want to remove it, there's a 1, 2, 3 screws for it. You can put this to one side. Grab the power unit, sit down right in there, it snaps in. Grab the board, make sure this 2 pin connector goes in there. So we're gonna grab it, and this plastic has to come through here, this one has to come through here. So you wanna set it down straight. And push it down, and it should go into its place right there. Once that one in place, you want to grab this top cover. This one has to go right in there, so between the board and the power unit. So I'm going to lift it up a little bit. Put it right there. This one has to go right under this. So it's easier to put this front cover on if you want to first. Alright, now that we got the front cover on, this front cover has to go right under this heatsink, right there. These cables have to go right under this. There we go. Now you can run the Wi-Fi cables through the groove. Bring it over. Right to it, do a half turn. Come back through here and goes straight. The blue one goes to the first connector. is the shortest distance. Snap on. Second one snaps on. Alright, now we got those one in. We're gonna slide the flex cable inside the connector. Align it in front. Before pushing it in, pull down the lever and then push it inward. It goes all the way in. Otherwise, if you feel like, oh, it's not turning on after that, it's because you didn't push it all the way in and you didn't push the lever all the way down. So that's another important part. So we are done here. We are gonna grab this cover, put it right over to protect that connection. Remember, the long plastic screw goes first. And then the metal screws goes right on the rest of the plate. Right. Wherever there is missing a screw is because it goes from the top cover. So everything is in place. Now we need the other half of this one, which is this. Bring it evenly over, set it down, and we're gonna start putting the screws for it. Before we do that, let's put the fan in. Drop the fan in. The cable has to be near to the connector. Before we put the cable to the groove, we're gonna push it inside the jack with your fingernail all the way in, and then push it right there. Grab this cover, put it right on top, and these are connectors for the fan. So this is a plastic one, 2, and start putting the screws on the cover in here. Remember, the single ones are for the metal to metal, and if there's nothing short plastic screw. So I'm gonna fast forward this part. I'm just gonna put the screw. So this is a metal one. This is a metal one, and this one is a metal one. These are marked with a single screw. Okay. I have 2 more. These 2 more, they go from the other side. Now we're gonna rotate back here. We're gonna put this short plastic ones. Short plastic ones, they are not marked with anything. Usually they are the corner ones. You're gonna grab this Phillips for the NVMe drive. Phillips number 1. Back to Torx number 9, and we put the rest of the screws down here. The longest screws. Okay, pretty much we are done here. Now all you want to do, grab the DVD drive, put the front end hook in there in 45-degree angle, just drop it in there, and then the back, just push it down, and it will go to its place. To finish it up, grab the DVD cover on top, the face, put the back end down first, where the connector is, and then bring it towards the front end of the console and push it down, and it should make a big click sound. Top portion too, scoop down in 45-degree the back side, and then push down the front, and it will make a big nice click sound. Same thing in the back. Put it back, and the front, it has to snap in place. And this should be all. And for the bottom cover, and push it back in, make sure you hear those nice click sounds. And that's it. And this is how you open up and clean your PS5 Slim console. Again, I hope you guys liked this video and helped you guys out. If you have any question or requests, feel free to leave them in the video comment. I'll try to answer them as soon as I can. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next videos.